how did I know you know this and I know this, but like these people are at the West Bank, Gaza. How did they get there? How did this all happen? Let's just jump back a few years or a bunch of years. I think a lot of people don't understand. They think they hear, oh, this is always our homeland. First off, most Jewish people have no Palestinian DNA in them. No. There's several types of Jews. One type does, but the ones that took the land over don't. They say they're atheists, and they said God gave them that land.
So one of the things that people would do well to understand is that Semitic denotes people who come from the Semitic region. The Semitic region is the Arab, the Holy Land, and those areas there. That is the Semitic region. The Semitic languages are Arabic and Hebrew. Now, the people who call themselves Jews but are not, as Jesus said, they did not speak Hebrew. They spoke Yiddish. They come from Eastern Europe primarily. They have no blood ties to the Holy Land. That is why they've outlawed DNA testing in Israel.
Yeah, I've looked up the DNA test. They basically have none.
It would prove that they have no claim or connection to this land. They actually come from Eastern Europe and Khazaria and that region out there, and they converted to Judaism many centuries ago as a political move, effectively. And they created in the 1800s this ideology of Zionism. So we all have heard the word Zionism. So what is that? Zionism is the idea of the creation of an ethno-Jewish state that would be seated in the Holy Land and justified by some biblical claim. Now, it's funny because those who are the creators of Zionism were Zionists by their own admission. In fact, Karl Marx, who's more accurately known as Moses Mordecai Levy, that's his real name, Levy, coming from a long line of Talmudic Jews. So the guy who created communism, Moses Mordecai Levy, a.k.a. Karl Marx, that guy is descended from a long list of Talmudic rabbis, but his cohort, Theodor Herzl, an avowed atheist. So you've got these people who are creating this Zionist agenda, claiming some biblical right to return to the Holy Land, while at the same time openly saying that they are atheists. Now, I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit stupid, but I don't understand how that works.
That's been completely baffling to me, too. I saw that. I'm like, how do they claim God gave them this land when they're atheists and they're not from this land? DNA literally says that. It's completely baffling to me.
They're having their cake and eating it, too. So we have Herzl, we have Levy, and we have another host of characters. We also have the Rothschilds in the early 1800s taking their dirty, funny fiat currency money, their usury debt-based money.
That's the real, as you said, the head of the snake.
The head of the snake. Finance. How did Jesus feel about usury? Same way I do. Yeah. And all you Christians out there, do you not know what Jesus did when he saw the money changers in the temple?
What did he do?
He came out the temple. He saw them doing their dirty usury business. He upturned the tables and literally whipped.
Wow.
Jesus used a whip.
I was unaware of this.
Whipped them. Yeah. It's in the Bible. And we also have, a lot of people dismiss the Bible because we've socially engineered, we've secularized people to such a degree, and we've infiltrated the church. The Catholic Church, which I'm a Catholic, I was raised Catholic because of my grandmother, born and raised in Kerry in Ireland. The Catholic Church used to actually have true Christian values. It was not this corrupt cardinals and bishops raping choir boys all over the place and then covering it up. That is the infiltrated version.
That's just absolutely, disgusting and embarrassment, complete embarrassment of the church when that happened. Just like,
but it's a great manipulation too, because if you pervert the church, then those who reject the church or resent the church inadvertently, in many cases, begin to reject God to some degree. They confuse the church with the Spirit and God.
Yeah, that's why I'm not part of the church, but I have my own relationship with God. I haven't became part of an organized religion yet, but I certainly believe in God and a higher power.
Yeah,
I think you have to. That's what guides you. You'll always be true if you know you have someone guiding you.
To give our enemies credit, what they've done is they've infiltrated the churches. They've created the Protestant Revolution, which in itself, we go back to Martin Luther, and we can study that period. Look,
that's an interesting one, but let's not do that today.
Not today.
Good old Martin Luther, and not King.
I know. The rubbishing and diminishing of the integrity and the humanity and the spiritual connected divine nature of religion has turned many. If we look at England today as compared to, say, 100 years ago, or America today as opposed to 100 years ago, what we would see is that we were very much a Christian nation. Now, regardless of the hypocrisy and the genocide and all the things that we were doing as so-called Christians, we did definitely identify as Christians. But now tons of people have chosen the secular route because they're so disgruntled with the church that they have somehow, some way, inadvertently or just directly said, you know what, screw all that. I don't believe the Bible. I don't believe this God thing. It's all a lie. They're all corrupt. They're all hypocritical. That is a very clever ploy by the enemies of humanity.
Seems like the media, the music industry has very deliberately attacked Christianity and God.
We see the way they pay homage to their deity,
constantly
Satan.
Devils and all this stuff, and
Really?
you obviously know who's behind the Church of Satan, and
Really?
and he was very tied in with Hollywood and putting that in there, and
Well, it's an easy.
Anton Levy.
There's another easy sell, right? Freedom. We all love freedom, right?
Yeah.
So the sell for Satan is, yes, you are you. You are how you make yourself. You're not how God made you. So this easy to take that into the trans agenda. Oh wait. Oh, maybe I have a penis, but I identify as a polka dot Dalmatian lesbian biker. No, you're a boy or a man, but the freedom that Satan provides is that you are your own God. You are free. No one rules over you. There is nothing to consider beyond the self. You are exhibiting the greatest of qualities by being exactly who you are with no regard for anyone else. It's an easy sell for especially young people who, and actually, have you read any, like, Satan, if you look at the stuff that's out there, that actually some of it is true, Lucifer and Satan, there's a lot of selling points in there. They can sell this stuff.
I haven't heard it that much. Was just like living, doing what's fun, probably the life of debauchery, or what is it?
So it's like resisting the sort of morals and values that a genuine, traditional family would offer, right? So it's easy to say, like in a traditional Christian or Muslim, for that matter, family, we have the man, we have the woman, we have the children. But in a modern Luciferian satanic, we have homosexual, two fathers, children. We have transgenders. We have chemical castration becoming possible we're both from California. Yeah. In California, you can chemically castrate, and really there are plenty of examples of this without even your parental consent and support of the state.
Yeah, they'll take your kids away if you don't allow them to do that. That's just absolutely wrong. That's satanic.
It really is, and yet it's
guys like Scott Wiener are passing that.
But you're the bad guy for denying this child how they identify, right?
And it's all confusing. This wasn't happening 20 years ago. It's all being pushed on. The media is pushing this on their brains.
Really?
It's not real. No one had gender dysphoria 20 years ago.